Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I am currently on my way right now to submit my application for an original contractor's license. I'm heading to the office right now for the Contractor State Licensing Board, and I'm of course going to bring everything that I can that would be of benefit to you and relative to my experience of actually doing so. So stay with me. So I'm here in front of the California Contractor State Licensing Board, and one question that a lot of people have when they get to this point is the insurance requirements and the bonds. What are those, and where do you go to obtain those? Well, I can show you this building here behind me is the State Licensing Board building, and right across the street you may be able to see there's an insurance agency. There's one called Construction Services Insurance Agency. There's another one down here called California Contractors Insurance Services. And all of those places, which are literally right across the street, are the ones that's going to be able to help you with your insurance policies and requirements, and your bonds are going to be able to take care of that. They can answer all your questions and provide those to you. There's also schools, not associated with the licensing board, but schools for preparation to take your tests. They can walk you through the process of filling out your application, submitting that, and how to do that properly as well. There's one right down the road and across the street to my right, and there's one right down the road and across the street to my left. And so my point with any of this is it's in very close physical proximity to the actual licensing board. So if you're at the Sacramento office, and I'm sure this is true of any of the other ones as well, their testing facilities, they've strategically set up quite close to this place. So look into it if that's something that you have a question or need for. All right, so I'm back. I just turned in my application for an original contractor's license, and I committed the cardinal error that I've been trying to convince all of you not to do this entire time, and that's I filled out my application wrong. I managed to do it myself, and so I'm going to bring you a little bit of what I just learned today. And again, I'm being very forthcoming with all of this. So what I did wrong in my particular case, which would probably be exceedingly rare, if you remember, I used the I think it's 7061 waiver form with my original application because I'm already a qualifier on an existing license. My interpretation of that was I was requesting to waive not having to take the business and code of conduct test as part of my whole process, and that's not the case. If you are already a qualifier or have been the last 5 years on an active license, then only for that qualification section can you use that form to try and get an original for, because you're waiving the entirety of all your testing requirements. That includes the trade test. Now, I have both trades listed on mine. I'm going for a C23 ornamental steel, and I'm also going for a C51 structural steel. Now, I've never been a qualifier on C51. So what they were able to do is they told me to just cross out and initial next to crossing out the C51. So my application with the waiver only read that I was applying for a C23. Which I'm already a qualifier on, so I don't need to take either of the tests. I don't need to do any of that, which would have made that form appropriate, which is what we've made the adjustment to. Now, once they actually issue my license and I have that original number, I'm going to have to use another form in order to request to add an additional classification, and it's at that point that I'm going to do the C51. I will not have to take the business test for the code and conduct and all those things, but I will have to take the trade test. So that's why I couldn't waive that on my original application fee or form. So there's going to be a little bit of follow-up to that, but I had to make that adjustment. Another thing that I learned is I remember I had my work certification form, and I already had that signed from my employer, and to be honest, it was kind of old. I had that signed, and I had it sitting around, and I've deferred getting to this point because I've been busy with a multitude of things and trying to get the website done and everything, and I've been trying to bring this to you, and so I haven't had it down here. I had that thing signed back in March. I didn't see I thought as long as it was appropriate that somebody was certifying my 4+ years of journey level experience, it didn't really make a difference. But I learned today that your signatures have to be within the last 90 days to be considered current. It's not expired. So the work certification form, which I don't need on C23, which I just applied for because I'm already a qualifier on it. But when I come back to do my C51, to add that to my license they're going to issue to me, I'm going to have that re-signed by somebody who's going to certify my work experience in that field, that industry, that type and classification. And it's going to have to be within 90 days of my getting here and doing that. So I learned those two things today. I hope that this is a benefit to stop you from making any one of those errors, if that's even a part of your equation there. I told you I'd be candid and forthcoming about my ups and downs, and I know I've put together a lot of videos trying to give you guys some direction and help in filling this out so you don't do it wrong, and lo and behold, I come here and I did it wrong. So there you go. If you have anything else to add to this, please do. I sincerely request that you add your questions and comments to post in this video. As always, please do subscribe and stick around for the more to this process. Thank you for joining me today.